Peace and blessings. My name is Carlos Walker, and this is Art and Hustle, Black Authors Matter Season 2. And today I got the great Zach Tate with me. Peace and blessings. How you doing, bro?
Love and light, brother. How are you?
Look, that's one of my sayings. Look, to hear you say it, it just blew my mind. I'm doing the same. So, if you will, share with the people who you are and what you do.
Great Zach Tate, best-selling author, used to be the urban fiction legend. I write and I write and I write some more. And I'm also a professional speaker as well as a thought leader. So been writing romance, gangster romance for a very long time. Then I went to self-help and nonfiction, and now I'm going to literary fiction. I'm currently working on that, as well as many screenplays, many screenplays, and teleplays. It's time to ignite what we watch on television and stop with the garbage.
The crazy thing about it, I just seen Roland Martin speak about something, and I told him he was speaking about reprogramming our minds. Uh, and he was talking about how the Black community, what we have been doing whenever we think that there's a saying that says that we think that the ice is colder on the other side.
Mm-hmm.
And he got to talking about sometimes uh, it's sad that we have to say that we shouldn't say that a business is Black owned because we won't pour into our own the way we should.
Correct.
Now, what I put on there is that to reprogram the mind, you have to reprogram it the same way you was programmed. So we was programmed through television, through stuff we hear. A lot of this stuff is programmed our mind, and what has to happen is you do the same thing to reprogram it.
That's correct.
Watching Black Panther, to me, I think Black Panther should be shown so many times it ain't funny. Why? It shows you Black unity. It shows you how we can actually work together. And what happens that builds, but not. I just wanted to add that because of what you said. But here we go. Let's share, if you will, share with me why you write, number one, or why you started writing.
I started writing. I was serving life in prison, and I was able to get conjugal visits. And my fourth wife got pregnant, and I was not going to continue to sell dope or to do anything illegal to provide for my child. And I was not going to embarrass my queen at the time with why are you having a baby for somebody that's doing life and he can't do nothing for you. So at the time, I knew I had to do something to generate some income, and urban fiction was exploding. Now, what a lot of the stories they were writing about was my real life before my incarceration, but on a different level. So the stories that I was reading didn't really talk about Black organized crime, and it wasn't talking about making money on a whole higher level. So I decided that I would write about my life and what I wanted to read. If I was going to write, if I was going to read urban fiction, I wanted something more intellectual, more sophisticated. That was a reflection of my lifestyle before my incarceration. So I wrote a rough draft in 3 weeks. We printed the rough draft. We sold 35,000 copies. So
While in prison.
while incarcerated.
Shout out.
So then I didn't think it was real. The money was coming in. Everything that I wanted to manifest happened. Everything that I was manifesting happened. And I didn't think it was real. So I went back and wrote Lost and Turned Out. And everything you see in the Power series, they basically stole from that book to create the Power series that's on TV now. And from there, I said, that was the validation that I needed, that I was a writer. And then I started understanding the craft, the technique. This I had a brother named J Rock was teaching me, like, you have no technique, you just writing. Let me show you what technique is. So I just started doing the technique. And then that was it. Just started ghostwriting for people out here, got on the New York Times bestseller list for ghostwriting, and just kept writing. Now I'm like 24 books in.
So most of this, you was behind, you was still behind the wall while you was doing it.
Yeah. Yeah, most of my writing was behind the wall. Since I've been home, going on 14 years, I've written 4 books.
Okay, okay. So, share a little bit about you already just shared why you created or what made you gain the want or the drive to do it. Why do you continue to create?
I write because I have to, because I'm a real writer. And I have, I didn't know, thanks to Damon Dash. Thanks to Damon Dash, who I had a lot of affiliation with when I was much younger. We basically the same age. But something he said recently, where he said people don't understand the mind of a creative is a different type of mind, and we don't acknowledge it enough. Because I literally, my nickname in the streets was crazy, right?
Mm.
So I really thought, like, the way I think gotta be crazy. And the only vehicle that I could use to express it was writing and podcasting. Now, I started podcasting way before everybody started podcasting. You can go see the old ones on YouTube. And I didn't stick with it because my creative mind had like 8 voices going on all the time, like all the time. So with all these different voices and these different inspirations, and then on top of that, my ancestral African Jamaican roots, spirits be talking to me. So now I got to deal with spirits talking to me and all these other voices talking to me and me trying to create on a daily basis. I might create 6 different type of businesses that's not existing right now on a just driving to work. So the only vehicle that I found that I'm on the right frequency, that I'm tapped in, where everybody's in unison, that everybody that's in my head is in unison, is when I'm being creative.
Mm.
It's better than any blunt that I ever smoked. And I smoked a lot of blunts. And it's better than any blunt that I ever smoked. So I just write. I actually don't even want to be bothered with society. I just want to write and just leave me alone.
Interesting. So you just came out with another book recently, correct?
Which one?
I do not know the name of it. That is my fault. But
I
I
think,
just seen a post that you posted recently.
oh, those are all the books that's going on. I released a book, a urban fiction book last year called Gangster Romance.
Okay.
About a story about it's actually about a true life event. Most all my books are true life events, and about a basketball player that was going to the pros that ended up murdering somebody on a basketball court over his girl, and the tumultuous things that he has to go through from being like the number 1 draft pick in the world to going to prison. But the book that I would wanted to discuss and highlight with you during Black History Month was the book called We the Blacks, where I was awarded Book of the Year. I tied with Michael Eric Dyson for Book of the Year on We the Blacks. So why I think that book is so important right now is I had wrote a book called The Caucasian Handbook
Mm.
that I took out of circulation. It was a guide on how to end racism. And that's when Trump was first going into office. So I changed it. I took some of the same topics and wrote We the Blacks because black people don't realize that they're celestial beings and that they are God bodies and that we are always going to be under attack and that racism is a farce, right? The effects of hatred, ethnic hatred, is a real thing,
Mm-hmm.
right? The fact that we are plotted on and profited from our destruction is a real thing. The fact that there are political regimes that say we are supposed to be last because they understand that we have historically been first. And if we ever decide and wake up and say, forget my hood, I'm part of the world majority, then it shrinks and humbles the other peoples.
Mm-hmm.
And I also believe that if we join forces and procreate more with Caucasians, we stand to have a better stronghold as a people. So we the blacks is like a wake up call of where we came from, where we are, and where we need to be going.
I like the thought process of it. Speak about the book, the Caucasian book that you were speaking about, because I've never heard how to, what was it? How to teach how to do what?
It was called a Caucasian Handbook, How to End Racism. So racism is commitment to ignorance,
Mm-hmm.
right? So we have to understand where in North America did this mindset come from, right? So it came from elite whites who came to this country as bastards of another nation,
Mm-hmm.
was kicked out of where they was from, got here and said, I like this. This is nice. And then said, the Africans that's here don't even know what they got compared to where we came from. This is paradise. So we're going to make it our own. And in the process of making it their own, they wiped out what's called the so-called Native American, which is just another tribe from Kemet that traveled from what is known as Africa to North America and settled here. And it demonstrates how this hatred was created with an industrialization,
Mm-hmm.
right? Where these poor whites was treated like garbage, and they still are,
Mm-hmm.
right? These poor whites is catching hell. These poor whites is trying to figure out what is this privilege you talking about. But the landowners had the ability to say, "Hey, at least you're not a nigger."
Mm-hmm. They less than you.
Right. So the hoodwink, the bamboozlement of the poor white masses was you don't need to focus on all this money I'm making over here. You need to focus on making sure you doing better than the niggas.
Mm-hmm.
And these elites that created our Constitution, that created the Declaration of Independence, who created the foundation of the government of this country for their wealth. That's all it's about. That's what Trump is showing you. Make it great again. The way it used to be was the elite ran the world, ran the country, and y'all didn't have no voice. Y'all didn't have no education. Y'all don't have no power. Just shut the fuck up and let us do what we do. And this is what we doing. Trump is back to say it again. I'm here to
Mm-hmm.
do a grab. I'm gonna distract y'all. Y'all gonna get caught up in ignorance. Meanwhile, I'm going this way. The Latino voters is saying, hey, Trump, 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 you get in office, get on the bus and get out of here because you're taking up too much space and you're messing up real estate. And then there's other people who are trying to identify as white or feel being Caucasian is a status symbol. So they like, oh yeah, well Trump looks out for my dollar, and you don't even make that much money.
Mm.
If you ain't in the billions, in the high 100 millions, you don't even count as part of his agenda. And he puts it out in the open, but it's only for the wise and civilized to be able to detect and decipher what he's doing. Right? I personally do not believe he's a racist. I believe that he's a strategist, elitist, and elitists don't care about nobody but themselves. You could look just like him, and he will write a policy that's going to create hell on you. And now,
Mm-hmm.
people are seeing that if you're not part of the agenda. So the Caucasian Handbook was a reminder of that, right?
Mm.
We the Blacks is a reminder of that, that America was founded as a business. Even the name itself was founded as a business model.
Is a corporation.
That's all it is. And the only people that's going to be all the laws, policies, procedures, codes, standards that was created to enhance the lives of business owners. So don't be crying about racism and what these people is doing and what they not doing. Get your ass a LLC. Go get you a S corp. Go create. And the greatest thing about this mighty, beautiful country that we live in called America is you can start a business and not make a dime and still get a bunch of money from all over the place.
Hmm.
And take that money and go someplace else if that's what you want to do. Money, the importance of money, which is covered in the book as well, is that it creates options.
Mm.
Options create a higher level of freedom and liberty, right? So you get those options, you get that liberty to say, I don't want to live here, I'm out. Asia got a bunch of cities that will embrace you, love you, and you had the greatest time.
Mm.
But these elitists, these people in charge, are thinking on a global level. We're not even thinking on a national level. We're thinking on a hood level.
Mm.
So this is where they outsmart us in the book, kind of highlights these things. It's like a call to being awakened if you want to read, right? I purposely didn't put any of my books on an audio book because I didn't want it to just entertain you. Even my novels will blow your mind with the level of wisdom that's in it, but I wrote it in a fashion to be able to shape minds where they at. They have to be entertained to learn. I give babies baby food.
Mm.
Don't try to feed a baby a steak. I'm gonna give you something chopped up, mixed up, and make it taste sweet so you want to keep eating it. So that's why I did the novels the way I did them. And Caucasian Handbook is just raw, and We the Blacks was just raw. This is what it is.
So
E- Even to the point, not to cut you off,
no,
pardon
you
me,
good.
even to the point where, some of the solutions is violence.
Mm.
Like, y'all not going to be respected because y'all don't get violent. Y'all just
Mm.
hold hands and no justice, no peace. And y'all listen to PayPal Sharpton and Messy Jesse Jackson, and you listen to these fools, and you run around saying why nothing is changing because you don't get radical, you don't get revolutionary. It doesn't have to be Black Panther revolutionary. Every black man just start dating white women. That's a revolution. It would be a revolution. They would. It just changes the dynamics of how we look at poverty and race instantly, right? If we supported more black businesses and held them accountable,
High standard.
high standard, like Target, it's amazing. We should all go to Target, fill up 2 carts, and walk out. Get right to the register and be like, wait a minute,
No man.
y'all don't support black business, right?
We banned it.
And just walk out. And it'd be 700 shopping carts where they got to pay people overtime and double time to put all that back on the rack, right? And they'll see the financial impact of turning their backs on their customers. Fuck the race part.
Mm-hmm.
Take care of your customers. It's just basic customer service.
Mm-hmm.
These are the people that frequent your business. Take care of them. So, the book covers all ranges of how to be empowered and have a different view of life so you can enjoy life to the fullest, man, and be happy all the time.
Or as you said earlier, loving life.
Yeah, man. You only die once, but you live every day, man.
I like that.
Then you
You,
come back.
you need to put that on a shirt.
and,
So,
and you get to come back. On top of that, you get to come back. So come on, man. What are we gonna do? Be miserable? Nah, we gotta handle things.
so before we go, I do want a few things because I want these people to go get your books. And this is a call out for y'all to go get all books, not just one. Look, the man and wrote what you said, 24?
Yeah, but I published only, I think 11 or 13 is published. I think it's
Okay, look, I need y'all to go look, pour into this is Black History Month, and we're doing this to help enlighten our people. You heard the man say, look, even his novels got information in it that you can draw from, and don't look, it's going to inspire you maybe to even write your own book. I need you to go get the great Zach Tate's books. Is 11 to 13 of them. We need you to get it. So before I leave, as always, I need a word of wisdom from you. I already know. Look, you have a fountain of it. I need you to pour into the people. Give me a word of wisdom, and then tell these people where they can actually go and purchase your book.
all right. My word of wisdom will always be careful what you tell yourself. Be careful what your daily mantra is because that will be your existence. And then the people you are with, the most you become.
Mhm.
That would be the message of how to start transforming my peoples that's out there. And I'm not talking about just black people. I'm talking about all people.
All people.
Uh, and you could go to greatzactate.com or Amazon and pick up all the books. Right now, I'm really focusing on Life Survival Kit. That's the book that I'm trying to get in every school, everywhere. And I raised the price to $40 for the book on purpose to keep away people who's not interested in being dynamic, outstanding people.
Mhm.
If you know you outstanding dynamic, you blow $40 on nothing. So
Alcohol.
all kind of nonsense. So if you know you outstanding, that $40 price is nothing for you. And I'm working now to put a team together. I need a lot of help. I generally did not like working with earthlings that much. So I'm coming out of my shell and I need to put a team together where we will have the audio books and the ebooks available for everybody. But right now, Amazon has the ebooks and greatzactate.com. I have the hard copies. So, you know,
For that signed copy.
huh?
I said for that signed copy.
Yeah, for that signed copy, definitely. Greatzactate.com.
All right. So my name is Carlos Walker. This is Art and Hustle, Black Authors Matter, and that's the great Zach Tate. Blessings.
Peace to the nation.
Peace to the nation.